Have you ever felt like you were meant for something greater, but no matter how hard you try, nothing seems to move? What if that struggle isn't holding you back, but actually pointing you toward your biggest shift yet? The truth is, the quantum shift begins the moment you stop proving you're special and start allowing yourself to simply be. 1. The illusion of being the chosen one. Many people on their spiritual or personal growth journey fall into the subtle trap of believing they are the chosen one, someone destined to change the world, reveal hidden truths, or rise above everyone else. While this belief might sound empowering at first, it often carries a hidden weight, the pressure to constantly prove worthiness. This illusion quietly fuels ego, not evolution. When you start believing you are chosen, you also start fearing that you could somehow lose that status if you fail, doubt yourself, or make mistakes. The truth is, no single person is chosen in isolation. We all are. Every soul carries a unique vibration and purpose, but that doesn't make one more significant than another. The universe doesn't favor individuals. It flows through openness, not specialness. Think of a river. The water doesn't choose one stone to polish. It shapes all stones that allow themselves to be touched by its current. In the same way, spiritual growth happens when you surrender to the flow, not when you try to stand out from it. Believing you're specially chosen can also separate you from others, creating a quiet sense of superiority or loneliness. You might feel misunderstood or constantly on a mission to save or fix others. But transformation doesn't come from being above people. It comes from being with them, understanding that every human is a reflection of the same divine source. True awakening isn't about being chosen by the universe. It's about realizing you're the universe expressing itself uniquely. When you release the illusion of being the one, you free yourself from spiritual pressure and open up to genuine peace. You stop seeking validation and start experiencing connection. You realize that your worth was never earned through greatness. It was already present through existence itself. The power you seek doesn't come from being chosen. It comes from being awake to your own infinite nature. This simple shift, from trying to be the chosen one to embracing being one with all, is the first step toward your true quantum transformation. Once you drop the label, you don't become less, you become limitless. 2. How ego blocks energetic flow. The ego isn't your enemy. It's simply the part of you that believes it must protect, define, and control everything. But when ego takes charge of your spiritual journey, it subtly blocks the very energy you're trying to align with. Ego thrives on separation. It wants to be someone, to stand out, to be right, or to be seen as important. This constant striving keeps you locked in resistance, cutting you off from the natural flow of universal energy that operates through surrender, not struggle. Imagine energy as a river. When you're relaxed and open, that river moves freely through you, bringing clarity, peace, and synchronicity. But when the ego starts demanding control, wanting recognition, fearing judgment, or comparing itself to others, it throws rocks of resistance into that river. The current slows and the flow becomes turbulent. You might feel stuck, anxious, or disconnected, even though you're doing everything right. Ego blocks energetic flow because it operates from fear of being unseen, unloved, or unworthy. It constantly whispers, "I must prove myself to matter." This mindset tightens your energy field, making it harder for intuition, creativity, and divine guidance to reach you. You start forcing outcomes instead of allowing alignment. For example, if you're trying to manifest something, a goal, opportunity, or relationship, ego might push you to overthink every detail or worry about timing. The result? You repel what you're trying to attract because your vibration shifts from trust to tension. The universe doesn't respond to pressure, it responds to peace. Releasing ego doesn't mean losing ambition or confidence. It means shifting your inner driver from fear to flow. When you act from presence rather than pride, your energy becomes magnetic. You stop chasing what's already meant for you and begin to receive it naturally. The key is awareness. When you notice yourself getting attached to an outcome or feeling the need to be validated, pause. Take a breath. Remember, the more you try to control energy, the less it moves. The more you surrender, the more it flows. Ego builds walls. Awareness dissolves them. Once those walls fall, you'll feel the universe moving through you effortlessly, turning resistance into radiance. 3. The meaning of the quantum shift. A quantum shift isn't something that happens outside of you. It's a profound inner realignment that changes everything about how you experience life. It's that moment when you stop living on autopilot and start living in total awareness. It's when your perception expands beyond fear, doubt, and limitation, and you begin to see reality from a higher frequency of truth. Think of it like tuning a radio. When you're stuck in low-frequency thoughts, worry, competition, or control, you're tuned into static. But the moment you shift your mindset toward trust, love, and surrender, the signal becomes clear. That clarity is the quantum shift. It's not magic. It's energy responding to awareness. You're not changing the world itself. You're changing how you interact with it. And that shift changes your entire reality. In scientific terms, quantum means the smallest measurable change in energy. But spiritually, it represents the biggest leap in consciousness. A quantum shift happens when your inner vibration moves into alignment with your highest potential. You stop reacting to circumstances and start creating them consciously. Life no longer feels random, it becomes responsive. This transformation doesn't require grand rituals or years of struggle. It often begins with a subtle moment of clarity, a deep breath, a surrender, a realization that you no longer need to fight. Suddenly, what used to feel heavy becomes light. You start attracting opportunities, people, and experiences that match your new energy. The quantum shift is also a return home to your authentic self. It's when you realize you were never broken or behind. You were simply out of tune with your own essence. When that alignment clicks, your outer world rearranges itself effortlessly. Relationships improve, intuition sharpens, and peace replaces anxiety. Remember, this shift isn't a one-time event. It's a continuous unfolding. Every time you choose presence over panic, trust over control, and gratitude over lack, you take another quantum leap. The beauty is, once you've experienced it, you can never truly go back to your old way of being. You've seen the truth. Reality doesn't change when you force it. It changes when you align with it. 4. The power of surrender and release. Surrender is one of the most misunderstood yet transformative forces in the universe. Many people hear the word surrender and think it means giving up, losing control, or becoming passive. But in truth, surrender is the ultimate act of strength. It's not about quitting, it's about trusting. It's the moment you stop wrestling with life and start allowing it to unfold in perfect harmony with divine timing. When you surrender, you're not saying, "I don't care what happens." You're saying, "I trust that what's meant for me will not miss me." That mindset instantly shifts your vibration from resistance to alignment. Think of it like unclenching a fist. You create space for something new to enter. In the same way, when you let go of how things should be, you allow life to surprise you with how beautifully they can be. Release is the companion to surrender. It's the conscious choice to let go of expectations, fears, and attachments that weigh your energy down. Often, we hold on tightly because we're afraid of loss or uncertainty, but that tightness blocks the very flow we're seeking. True release says, "I don't need to control this for it to work out," and that's when miracles begin to happen. One of the greatest examples of surrender can be found in nature. A tree doesn't panic when its leaves fall. It trusts the cycle, knowing new growth will come in time. The universe works the same way. When you release what no longer serves you, old beliefs, forced plans, toxic connections, you create space for new energy to enter. Surrender isn't passive, it's profoundly active in faith. It takes courage to stop forcing outcomes and start flowing with them. Yet, every time you do, your energy expands. You become more intuitive, peaceful, and magnetic. Opportunities start arriving effortlessly because your vibration is now aligned with possibility rather than pressure. In the end, surrender and release are not signs of weakness. They are proof of wisdom. They show that you finally understand. The universe was never against you. It was waiting for you to stop resisting so it could move through you freely. That is the true power of letting go. 5. How identity limits expansion. Your identity is like a lens. It shapes how you see yourself, others, and the world. But what most people don't realize is that the same identity they cling to for security is often the very thing keeping them from expanding into their highest potential. We spend years building an image of who we think we are, our roles, achievements, beliefs, and labels. Yet the more tightly we hold on to that image, the less room we leave for growth. Every identity, no matter how empowering, has boundaries. When you define yourself too narrowly, I'm this kind of person, I can't do that, I'm meant for this path only, you unknowingly box your soul into limitation. You start living by a script that was often written by your past, by society, or by fear. The universe, however, works through expansion. It constantly calls you to outgrow what you once thought was you. For example, someone might see themselves as a perfectionist achiever. That identity may have once driven them to success, but eventually it becomes a cage. They can't relax, delegate, or evolve because their worth is tied to doing everything flawlessly. Another person may identify as a healer or teacher, which sounds noble. But when that label becomes their entire sense of self, they struggle to learn, rest, or simply be, fearing they'll lose their purpose without that role. When you release rigid identities, you make space for the infinite self to emerge. You realize that you are not the roles you play, you are the consciousness behind them. You are not the character in the story, you are the awareness witnessing it unfold. This understanding doesn't erase who you are, it expands it. You can still have preferences, passions, and paths, but they no longer define your worth. The moment you stop identifying with limitation, your energy skyrockets. You start feeling lighter, more flexible, and open to unexpected possibilities. You move from who am I supposed to be to what else could I become? The truth is, your soul was never meant to fit inside a label. It was meant to evolve beyond every one of them. The less you cling to identity, the more you connect with infinity. That's when real expansion begins. 6. The role of universal alignment. Universal alignment is the state where your inner world and the universe move in harmony, like two instruments perfectly tuned to the same note. It's when your thoughts, emotions, and actions vibrate at the same frequency as your highest truth. In this state, life doesn't feel like an uphill battle anymore. Things begin to unfold naturally, almost effortlessly. You start meeting the right people, receiving unexpected opportunities, and feeling a deep sense of peace even when life is uncertain. But alignment isn't something you chase, it's something you allow. Many people try to force alignment by overworking, overthinking, or trying to control every outcome. Yet the universe doesn't respond to force, it responds to flow. True alignment happens when you quiet the noise of doubt, release resistance, and trust that everything is happening in divine order, even when you can't yet see the reason. Think of a compass. When it's still, it naturally points north. But when shaken or surrounded by interference, the needle spins wildly. The same happens within you. When your mind is filled with fear, comparison, or anxiety, your internal compass can't guide you clearly. But when you slow down, breathe, and reconnect with presence, your direction becomes unmistakable. You start to feel what's right rather than overanalyze it. Universal alignment is also about recognizing that your desires are not random. They're signals from the universe calling you toward experiences meant for your growth. When you align with that guidance, doors open without you needing to push. The right timing, connections, and insights appear in perfect synchronicity, not because of luck, but because you're finally moving with the current instead of against it. One powerful way to maintain alignment is to consistently return to gratitude and trust. Gratitude raises your vibration instantly, and trust keeps you anchored in flow even when the path is unclear. Remember, alignment doesn't mean everything is perfect. It means you're at peace with what is, confident that every twist and turn serves your evolution. When you live in universal alignment, you stop chasing your destiny and start dancing with it. The universe moves through you, not as something outside granting favors, but as a reflection of your own inner harmony. That's where real magic begins. 7. Energy frequency and emotional balance. Everything in the universe is energy, including your thoughts, emotions, and intentions. Each emotion you feel vibrates at a specific frequency. Love, peace, and gratitude resonate at higher frequencies, while fear, anger, and guilt vibrate lower. Your overall energy field shifts according to these emotional states, and that vibration determines what you attract into your life. Simply put, your energy introduces you before you speak. When your emotions are balanced, your energy becomes stable, radiant, and magnetic. You start attracting experiences that match that vibration. People who uplift you, opportunities that align with your purpose, and moments of unexpected synchronicity. But when emotions swing wildly between anxiety and hope, confidence and doubt, your energy becomes inconsistent. The universe mirrors that instability through confusion, delay, or mixed results. Emotional balance doesn't mean suppressing feelings. It means allowing emotions to flow through you without letting them take over. When anger arises, acknowledge it. When sadness surfaces, sit with it. When joy appears, expand it. The key is awareness, observing emotions without judging or attaching stories to them. Once you become the observer instead of the reactor, your energy stabilizes naturally. Think of yourself as an antenna. If your signal is distorted by emotional noise, you can't receive clear guidance from the universe. But when you clear emotional blockages through practices like meditation, journaling, deep breathing, or even walking in nature, your energy frequency rises. You begin to feel lighter, more intuitive, and effortlessly connected to your higher self. One practical exercise is to check in with your emotions several times a day and ask, what frequency am I tuning into right now? If you sense heaviness, consciously shift your vibration, listen to soothing music, repeat affirmations, or focus on something you're grateful for. These small shifts create big energetic changes. The beauty of energy work is that it empowers you to stop being a victim of your emotions and start being their conductor. You realize that every feeling is just information, guiding you toward alignment or showing you where healing is needed. When your emotional energy is balanced, you stop fighting life and start flowing with it. Your vibration becomes a clear signal to the universe. I'm ready to receive everything meant for me. And the universe always answers that call. 8. Shifting from control to trust. One of the biggest barriers to spiritual growth and inner peace is the constant need to control everything. Outcomes, timing, people, and even our own emotions. Control gives a false sense of safety. It convinces us that if we can manage every detail, we can prevent disappointment or failure. But the truth is, control often comes from fear, while trust is born from faith. And growth only happens where faith lives. When you try to control life, you block its natural intelligence. The universe operates with perfect precision. It knows exactly when and how to deliver what you need. But when you interfere with that flow, by worrying, forcing, or doubting, you disrupt the process. It's like trying to open a flower before it's ready. You end up damaging what was meant to bloom naturally. Trust, on the other hand, is surrender in action. It's not blind belief. It's deep awareness that everything has purpose, even the delays, detours, and disappointments. Trust means letting life unfold without demanding a specific script. It's saying, I may not understand this now, but I know it's aligning me with something better. When you shift from control to trust, your nervous system relaxes, anxiety fades, creativity returns, and your intuition strengthens. You begin to sense the subtle nudges of the universe, when to act, when to wait, when to let go. You start realizing that things work out faster and smoother when you stop trying to force them. For example, imagine you're manifesting a new job or relationship. Control says, I must make this happen now. Trust says, I'm preparing my energy and allowing the right match to appear. In that space of faith, your vibration aligns with divine timing, and what's meant for you finds its way effortlessly. Trust doesn't mean you stop taking action. It means you act from peace, not panic. You still move forward, but you let go of attachment to how things must look. You understand that every closed door redirects you to something higher. The shift from control to trust is one of the most powerful transformations you can experience. It turns fear into freedom, tension into flow, and wading into wisdom. When you finally trust the process, life stops feeling like a battle and starts feeling like a dance. 9. How letting go activates synchronicity. Synchronicity is often described as meaningful coincidence, but in truth, it's the universe's language of alignment. Those perfectly timed events, chance encounters, or messages that show up just when you need them aren't random. They're signs that your energy and the universe are finally moving as one. And the key that unlocks this flow is letting go. When you cling too tightly to outcomes or expectations, your energy becomes heavy and constricted. You send mixed signals to the universe. Part of you wants something, but another part doesn't believe it's possible without your control. Letting go clears that resistance. It tells the universe, I trust you to handle the details. That trust opens the energetic channels through which synchronicity flows. Think about the moments in your life when something amazing happened unexpectedly. A solution appeared out of nowhere, or you met the right person at the perfect time. Chances are it happened right after you stopped overthinking and released control. That's no accident. When you detach from how things should happen, you create space for miracles to move in. Synchronicity thrives in openness. It's like a dance between your intentions and the universe's timing. You set the rhythm with your thoughts, but the universe decides the melody. When you stop forcing your own tune, you begin to hear the harmony that was always there. For example, say you're manifesting a new opportunity. Instead of constantly worrying, you focus on feeling aligned, acting from peace, gratitude, and confidence. Suddenly, an unexpected call or message arrives that leads you exactly where you wanted to go. That's synchronicity in motion, proof that your energy is tuned to divine flow. Letting go doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop controlling. You release the tension of how and focus on why. You keep your vision clear but allow the path to unfold naturally. In this relaxed state, your intuition heightens, guiding you toward inspired actions instead of forced ones. The beauty of synchronicity is that it reminds you, you are never alone in this process. The universe is always listening, always responding. The moment you let go, you stop chasing alignment and start living in it. That's when the magic truly begins to show itself. 10. Becoming one with the universal chooser. At the deepest level of awakening, you realize there is no separation between you and the universe. The same consciousness that spins galaxies, grows trees, and beats your heart is the same intelligence that moves through you. When you let go of trying to be the chosen one, you dissolve the illusion of division and begin to experience life as one with the universal chooser, the divine awareness that creates through you, not outside of you. Most people spend their lives believing they must earn divine favor, prove their worth, chase success, or manifest endlessly to feel validated. But in truth, the universe doesn't choose favorites, it chooses vessels. The moment you surrender the ego's need for control and open your heart, you become a clear channel for divine will to flow effortlessly. It's not that you start creating miracles. The miracles have always been there. You simply stop blocking them. When you operate as one with the universal chooser, your desires are no longer driven by lack or fear. Instead, they emerge from inspiration and alignment. You no longer say, I want this because it will make me whole. You say, I am whole, and this is an expression of that wholeness. That shift changes everything, from how you make decisions to how you experience time and purpose. You start noticing that life unfolds through you rather than happening to you. Each action feels guided, each challenge feels purposeful, and even delays carry meaning. You become less reactive and more receptive, moving with a calm confidence that doesn't depend on external results. This union with divine intelligence is not a mystical concept reserved for saints or gurus. It's your natural state when the noise of ego fades. Meditation, presence, gratitude, and compassion all help you stay in tune with this awareness. When your mind is still, the universal chooser speaks clearly through intuition, signs, and deep inner knowing. Ultimately, becoming one with the universal chooser is not about gaining power. It's about realizing you are that power, expressed uniquely in human form. Once you embody that truth, fear disappears, effort transforms into ease, and creation becomes a joyful collaboration between you and the infinite. That is the essence of true quantum living. When you release control and trust your divine flow, life transforms effortlessly. You are already enough. Comment, I flow with the universe's timing. Subscribe to Pure Quantum for more awakening insights.